Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone around the world. Thank you very much for joining the webinar today. My name is Ashwin, and I'm a marketing analyst at Zoho Analytics. I'm joining you today from Chennai. New advancements are taking marketing technology to the next level. The marketplace is flooded with tools to harness technology to drive business results. And the democratization of technology has made it easy for any organization to deploy these tools and platforms. However, deployment is no guarantee that businesses will achieve their marketing goals. A business must be able to build a layer of mission critical insights over its marketing life cycle, or MLC in short. In this webinar, you will learn how analytics is powering the three stages of an MLC with business insights. So here's the agenda for the day. We will get started with the marketing life cycle. Switching gears, we're going to discuss about the three-step analytical strategy. I will be quickly summarizing the webinar for you before we throw the floor open for an interesting Q&A session. All right, here we go. The marketing life cycle. All right, can an MLC be standardized? In my opinion, not. A MLC, or a marketing life cycle, is industry specific or could be company specific, or if I have to put that precisely, it largely depends on the marketing strategy the business adopts. I've tried to condense these models into a simpler version of an MLC. For a marketer, the marketer's life cycle starts by planning. This is where the marketing campaigns are planned by the marketer. The second phase in an MLC is the execution cycle. This is where the marketing efforts get operationalized. And the final stage in an MLC is to measure and re strategize the marketing efforts. It's essentially a holistic assessment of your marketing campaigns in phase three of an MLC. Well, this is a dynamic life cycle, which means you can have other segments added to this cycle as well, and that largely depends on your marketing strategy. All right, let's not focus too much on the MLC, but rather let's get deeper into the three-step analytical strategy, which explains how analytics is powering up each of these stages or steps in a marketing life cycle. All right, a moment ago I explained to you the three phases of a marketing life cycle. Now, if businesses ardently follow these steps, they may be able to achieve their marketing goals. However, there's always a better way of doing things. Businesses need to build a layer of business insights or marketing insights on top of its marketing life cycle. What does this mean for a marketer? By layering business insights over your marketing life cycle, marketers are in a better position to define goals in the planning phase, are able to achieve their tactical goals, and finally, it helps them to fulfill their strategic goals. We're going to take a multi-dimensional approach to this business requirement because that's the order of the day. Now, what do I mean by that? We're not going to analyze one particular marketing channel or a ad platform, but rather we're going to have a holistic approach towards an MLC. Speaking of the business use case, let's now consider an online retail store that sells multiple products under multiple brands. I'm going to flush out a few other details about this online retail. Just like any other business, this store has presence on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also has its own website. It uses Google Analytics to analyze its website and also is good at running surveys among its customers using SurveyMonkey. On the promotion side, this business leverages on Google AdWords, Bing Ads, also runs email campaigns using MailChimp and also using Zoho campaigns. So, what are we going to do now? Well, we are going to run a new marketing campaign for this online retail to help them with their seasonal sale. And how are we going to do that? Using Zoho Analytics as an enabler. Well, I see a few new people who have joined this webinar. They may be new to Zoho Analytics as well. So I'm not going to take too much time, but I'm going to talk about Zoho Analytics in a couple of slides. Zoho Analytics is a self service business intelligence and analytics platform. It was launched in the year 2009 as one of the pioneers in the self service BI space. Today, Zoho Analytics enjoys the loyalty of more than 10,000 customers with more than 2 million happy users spread across 150 countries. Well, what can Zoho Analytics do for you? It can help you acquire data from more than 250 data sources in the forms of files, feeds, local databases, cloud databases, and even popular business applications. Now, with all that data in Zoho Analytics, you can visually analyze them in the form of pre built reports and dashboards, which are available as a default offering with select business applications. On top of that, you can also build your own reports and dashboards using the simple drag and drop feature. You can also ask questions to the ML powered AI assistant Ask Zia in natural language, and Zia can get you the relevant insights in no time. Zoho Analytics is also capable of visually analyzing your data in more than 50 ways in the forms of pivot tables, charts, widgets, dashboards, and a lot more. Well, it doesn't end there. You can also collaborate with your teams. You can have these reports and dashboards embedded within your websites, within your applications in the context of your workflow. You can also have them as slideshows up and running on big screens in no time. And the contextual commenting feature helps you to collaborate in real time for quicker and better decisions. All right, with a quick introduction on Zoho Analytics, let's get started with the first phase in an MLC, and it's all about planning. All right, so this business, this online store, has decided to roll out a new campaign for its upcoming seasonal sale. Now, the first thing that this business might want to do is to set a marketing goal for this particular campaign. It could be a lead generation activity. This could be a brand visibility activity. It can also be a referral activity. It could be a campaign for promoting your clearance sale, your seasonal sale, or it can be as simple as a customer engagement activity. However, for this use case, we have decided to promote the seasonal sale that this business is rolling out probably in the upcoming month. Now, the first thing they might want to do is to understand your audience better. So once they have done that, they got to tailor content that's relevant for this audience. It's important to make sure that the content that you write in your campaigns are aligned with your goals. Well, you might want to talk about the pain points, you might want to put an elevator pitch, or you want to talk about the features, advantages, and benefits of your products or services. This largely depends on the goal that you set for this new campaign. Once you have decided the content, you go for the investments. So you get the necessary budgetary approvals and clearances. And once that's done, you begin to roll out these campaigns across multiple channels. I did mention to you that this is the order of the day. Businesses are no longer going to run campaigns in one particular channel. Rather, it's an omni-channel marketing campaign that businesses do today. All right, so for this demonstration, we're going to pick two of the key elements in the planning phase, and it's all about understanding your audience and tailoring the content suitably. So, we're going to take the example of Google Analytics, Instagram, and SurveyMonkey to find out how analytics can power up the planning phase with marketing insights. So for that, I'm going to switch screens to Zoho Analytics. Well, this is the landing page of Zoho Analytics. So once you log into your account, this is where you get to. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes to explain to you the technical prerequisite for this analysis. The first thing you might want to do is to integrate your marketing platforms or your ad platforms with your Zoho Analytics account. So you can click on import your data, and these are the different connectors which Zoho Analytics offers. Now I'm going to filter that to marketing. As you can see, these are the direct integrations that Zoho Analytics offers. So let's take the example of Google Analytics, and the import wizard pops up. In a few simple steps, probably in the next 3 or 4 steps, you should be able to authenticate your account and get your data into Zoho Analytics. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Rather, let's focus on our use case. So once you have the data imported into Zoho Analytics, a workspace gets created. And this is the workspace that I have created for this demonstration. All right, so I have integrated my Zoho Analytics account with multiple marketing channels and ad platforms. So the different modules from these applications are pushed into Zoho Analytics in the form of tables, like the ones that you see here. And the different fields are pushed into Zoho Analytics in the form of columns. So it's laid out in the form of a spreadsheet, and that can help you get started instantly without having to get the assistance of any IT person. All right, let's switch gears back to our first phase in an MLC, and it's about planning, where we said we got to have a deeper understanding of our audience and the content to put into these campaigns that we are planning for the upcoming seasonal sale. All right, so we are going to look at two digital properties of this business, this online store, to understand the audience better. The first one would be the website of this particular business. So, like I said, the business uses Google Analytics to analyze its website. So we have a dashboard here which gives you granular insights on your audience, on the audience who visit this particular website. Here are some of the KPIs like your page views, unique visitor count, your most visited gender, the age group, and also the average time spent on the website on a weekly basis, stationed right on top of the dashboard in the form of widgets. Now, this gives you a quick understanding of your audience. Let's scroll further down. The story unfolds here. This particular report talks about the page view distribution by country, and I'm going to filter to see or to find out where my audiences are. As you can see, United States has the highest number of page views. It stands at 13.5 million, followed by India, it stands at 8.8 million. How about the unique visitors? Let's filter that as well. It kind of resonates with the page views. You can see 3.5 million unique visits from the United States, and 2.75 million unique visits from India. All right, so what does this mean to a marketer? This means that when you design a campaign, you might want to have a dash of the cultural experience from these countries. You might want to give a cultural twist to your campaigns. Now, adding some regional flavor in your campaigns helps you to connect better with your audience. So, these two powerful insights that you have derived about your audience, as in where are they exactly located, helps you to tailor your campaigns accordingly. Scrolling further down, you have the breakup by gender. You see, it's a predominantly male users who visit your website. You can also find out that they are between the age brackets of 25 and 34. The unique visits are also from the males, and they are yet again between 25 and 34 in age. All right, so you have a set of audience who are predominantly from the United States and India, and it's largely a male population between the age groups of 25 to 34. All right, now, will this suffice to decide, okay, these are my audiences? Probably not. Now, we might want to have a look at another real estate, which is very crucial in today's world to understand your audience better, and that's the social media platform. So, I'm going to take the example of your Instagram handle to find out where the followers for this particular page, where do they belong to. So this online retail store has the highest number of followers from the United Kingdom. The city with the highest number of followership is London. Your followers speak English, it's a male population. However, you have a fairly younger crowd on your social media platforms. It's between the age group of 18 and 24. How are your Instagram followers put up? We did have it there on the widget that they belong to United Kingdom. You have the followers by country, and it's again United Kingdom. You have nearly 6 million followers from United Kingdom. You have a breakup of the gender, or the audiences are predominantly male. They are between the age group of 18 and 24, and they are English speakers. And these are the top 10 cities by followers. You see London at the top, followed by Melbourne. Now, this insight can be helpful if you want to run or pilot one of your offline marketing campaigns. Now, if you're looking for a place to pilot your offline marketing campaigns, this report that you see here can be one of the many things that you can consider for narrowing down on your city. So you're sure you rest assured that London has a good number of followers for your brand. And in case you want to run an offline campaign, you can probably look at London as one of the destinations for your campaign. All right. So how nice would it be if you can have the insights from your website and also from your social media in one place to give you a holistic understanding of your audience? So I've built a custom dashboard where I have captured the details from my website and also from the Instagram handle within a single dashboard. We understood that the countries are different. You have the maximum number of visitors from the United States, and also you have the maximum number of followers from United Kingdom for your social media handles. So this helps you to define the audience to whom you should be targeting the promotion campaign for your upcoming seasonal sale. All right, so we're done understanding the audience. The second aspect that we wanted to discuss today is on the content. So, like I said, this online business is pretty active in running surveys among its customers to frequently understand the pain points or areas of improvement. And one such dashboard is what you see here on the screen. The participants of this survey are predominantly females. This survey talks about a few things. It talks about the price points, it talks about the ease of finding a product, it talks about the stock availability, and talks about the convenience of shopping at this e-store. And finally, it also tries to understand whether the users would recommend this e-store to their friends or colleagues. Now, you have all these captured here in one single dashboard, and most of these results that you see here are very much in favor of the store. So the users feel, or the customers feel, that the products are fairly priced. The customers find it easy to navigate through the website to find the products. However, you can see that it's a 50-50 distribution. So you have the no plus neutral contributing to 50% of the respondents, and yes contributes to another 50% of the respondents. Now, probably you might want to tailor your content in such a way that you give the users the confidence that they will be easily able to find the products that they're looking for during this upcoming seasonal sale. Or maybe let's assume that your users have responded saying that the prices are not too fair on your website. You might want to say, or you might want to tell them, hey, look, this seasonal sale is one of its kind. You're going to get the best prices for this entire throughout this entire year during the sale. So why not check it out? So you got to tailor your content based on the kind of insights that you derive from a survey like the one that you see here on the screen. So let's get back to our presentation now. All right, so we have now thoroughly studied our audience, and also we have now been able to assess the kind of content that should go into these campaigns. So, with that, we are going to move to the next phase of our MLC, that's all about executing these marketing efforts. It's all about operationalizing these marketing efforts to success. Well, for a marketer who decides to roll out a new campaign, and in this case for a seasonal sale, it's very important to define and monitor the tactical goals. What do I mean by that? So, these tactical goals are like milestones in your marketing efforts, and I would like to call it a checkpoint analysis. It helps you to closely monitor those metrics to ensure that you're in line with your goals of achieving the seasonal sales target and the other KPIs that you have defined for the upcoming seasonal sale. Well, how do you get started? The first thing you might want to do is to define your day to day metrics. Now, I am calling it day to day, but this could be your weekly metrics or your monthly metrics, depending on your campaign and the also the longevity of the campaign. Then you want to get micro, like you want to go to the last level of analyzing the data. So you got to perform a micro analysis to get you granular insights in this phase of execution. And with all that, you got to optimize your campaigns. Well, what do I mean? This optimization could be a change in design, it could be a modification in your blurb or in your communication. It could also mean a rebalancing of your investments or optimizing your channels. Now, we're going to focus on the two important aspects of the execution cycle, and that's about performing a micro analysis for granular insights. So, how can analytics help marketers to achieve their tactical goals with our operational dashboards? So, we're going to take the example of Google Ads and also MailChimp for this demonstration. So I'm going to switch to Zoho Analytics for this. So let's get started with Google Ads. All right, so this is your mission control to monitor your tactical goals. Now, you're not going to look at these metrics towards the end of your marketing effort, but rather these are like checkpoints or milestones that you got to keep achieving, and the sum total of it will help you to navigate to the last phase of a MLC. So you have these KPIs such as impressions, clicks, conversions, interactions, CTR, average conversion rate, your cost, and the other KPIs stationed here on top of the dashboard in the form of widgets. So this gives you a quick and holistic understanding of how your marketing efforts are performing. This is going to be a reality check for you to make sure that you're in line with the goal that you define in the planning phase. Scrolling further down, the story unfolds with a few other metrics. You have the weekly trends and also the weekly impressions mapped here in two different reports. Now, let's have a closer look at the clicks over the past few weeks. As you can see, the clicks have spiked from week 31 to week 32, and it has once again dropped to week 33. Now, you might want to go back to your drawing boards to find out what is it that you've done differently from week 31 to week 32 that has brought in this spike. And also, you might also want to check what is it that you've done from week 32 to week 33 that has made it drop. Probably you have targeted the right group of audience, or maybe you have invested a little more, or maybe you have tweaked your content to reach this spike in week 32. And then later, the clicks have rebalanced and it has hit the normalcy. So you got to understand or analyze deeper by looking at this trend on what is it that you've done to help you get these spikes and also hit rock bottom values. Or rather, there's another way of seeing it. This entire hill that you see from week 31 to 33 could be a fad. It could be a temporary phenomenon. How do you assess that? You essentially need more data points to find out whether this is the trend or is this maybe an anomaly. So that's exactly where you're able to forecast this trend for the next 5 odd weeks. This dotted line that you see here has plotted the clicks for the next 3 or maybe 5 weeks. It has estimated the trend for the next few weeks. Now, by looking at these trends, you will be able to assess whether this spike between the week 31 and 33 is a fad or whether it's something that you should be really looking at to help you replicate the same model to your other campaigns or your upcoming campaigns as well. Now, there are too many peaks and too many valleys in this trend. How do you say, hey, I am making progress as far as my clicks are concerned, or there's something that I really need to look at because my clicks are dropping gradually? That's where you use the trend lines. So, this line that you see here is the trend line, and as you can see, it's showing a steady progress in your clicks. So, this helps you understand the trend in your data set, and probably by looking at it, you can say that, hey, it's not too bad, but my clicks are performing pretty well. So that's the kind of insight that you derive from this report. Similarly, you have the impressions weekly trend report. You have it forecasted for the next few weeks, and also you have the trend line pointing towards a negative growth. So the impressions have dropped over the past few weeks. Now, you might want to get back to your drawing boards to find out what is it that has caused the drop in the impressions. So, this is your mission control for analyzing how your tactical goals are performing. I'm going to quickly show you another example. I'm going to take the example of MailChimp, where you have, or the business has used MailChimp to send out emails to its audience. So the important KPIs like the total emails sent are here in the form of widgets. It's represented slightly in a different way. So you have a better understanding of how these campaigns are performing. You have an average open rate of 54%. Now, average open rates are industry specific, so you might want to check out what is your industry average and see if the open rates are matching the industry averages or not. Now, if your open rates are lesser than the industry average, probably you might want to relook at the subject, because a good subject can possibly help you get more open rates. The total recipient clicks stands at 148. That's business specific. You know how your click rates are, and in case you have these click rates going down, probably you want to relook at the content or the body of the email that you're sending out to your customers. Here are the detailed analysis of 8 campaigns that the business has run. You have the email open rate versus unique open rates. And let's have a closer look at campaign 6, which has a 66% open rate and a 46% unique open rate. Now, you might want to see how, or maybe what is it that you've done with campaign 6 that has got you good open rates, and you might want to replicate that for your other campaigns as well. If that trend keeps continuing, probably you can set that as a benchmark for your business to develop your content and also your targeting strategy as well. You have few other insights on the subscribers versus unsubscribes. You might want to closely look at those campaigns which are having a high unsubscribe rate and find out if the content needs to be tweaked. Well, this report here resonates with the report on the top. Campaign 6 has the highest number of click rates and it stands at 56. All right, so this detailed analysis of your Google Ads performance and your email campaign performance helps you to understand where you stand as far as your tactical goals are concerned. Now, these metrics are not those metrics that defines the success of your campaign, but they will definitely help you understand if you're in line, or if you're following those things that you need to do to help you achieve your marketing goals. So that brings us to the final stage on the MLC, and it's about measuring and re strategizing your marketing efforts. We are going to perform an outcome analysis to find out if we have achieved our strategic goals or not. We're going to take a holistic approach towards analyzing these different campaigns that you have rolled out towards your seasonal sale to find out whether you have achieved the end objective or not. The first thing that you got to do is to identify your performance KPIs. And if you're going to do this in stage 3, I'm sorry, but that might be too late. You should have essentially identified your performance KPIs in step 1, that's during your planning phase. Once you've done that, you got to perform a holistic analysis of your campaigns, and that will give you macro insights to understand whether these campaigns have been successful in helping you promote the upcoming seasonal sale. And with all that in your pocket, you can now confidently re strategize your campaigns or your marketing efforts to help you achieve your marketing goals. Well, in this phase, we're going to focus on three aspects of measuring and re strategizing a marketing campaign. The first one is all about performance KPIs. And then we're going to talk about how you could perform a holistic analysis and get macro insights to help us find out whether these campaigns have been successful or not. So I'm going to switch to Zoho Analytics to find out how you can empower your teams to help them achieve their strategic goals. These are your results. All right, the marketing overview dashboard helps you understand if you have achieved your objectives or not. Now, those KPIs or performance KPIs that we were talking about are the revenues, the expenses, the ROI percentage, and NPS. So you have rolled out your seasonal sale and also you've rolled out your marketing campaigns to support the seasonal sale. How effective have these campaigns been in helping you achieve your targets for the seasonal sale? So your revenue target, your expense target, your ROI target, your ROI percentage target, and your NPS targets. Now, you got to deploy a holistic marketing ecosystem to do this. So I'm just going to quickly explain to you how the revenue gets calculated. Now, let's assume the online store has a separate landing page for its campaigns within Google AdWords and also has separate landing pages for its campaigns in the email campaign segment. Now, whenever a lead fills these forms, probably a lead ID gets generated, which gets pushed into CRM. Now, a good CRM application is able to track these lead IDs and give you insights on whether these leads have got converted into customers. Now, by doing so, you are able to attribute the success of your campaign to your AdWords campaign or to your bulk emailer campaigns. So that's how the revenue is calculated for this particular campaign that you have rolled out to help you support the seasonal sale. Now you have the expense data pulled in from multiple ad platforms. You have the ROI calculated, that's revenue minus expense. You have the ROI percentage and the NPS scores. So you don't have to sit and calculate this, or you don't have to depend on anyone to do that, but you have them all here in the form of widgets. And this gives your senior management team or your other teams a quick understanding on how your campaigns have performed. Now, I have categorized the insights from Google AdWords on the left hand side, and I have stationed the insights from my email campaigns on the right hand side. So I get to see that the ad group 4 has performed well, giving me a 50% return on investment, which I believe is fairly a good number. On the right hand side, you have campaign 6. If you're able to recollect in the execution cycle, we saw campaign 6 having the highest number of open rates and click rates, giving you a ROI of 236 percentage. Scrolling further down, you have the expense versus revenue by ad group analyzed in the form of a butterfly chart for both the AdWords campaigns and also for the email campaigns. Now, this helps you to weed out those ad groups or your campaigns that are not effective. So, in case you have your expenses exceeding your revenue over a period of time, you might want to reconsider investing in those ad groups or those campaigns. You have the conversions by ad groups. You have a 9.4 conversion percentage from ad group 4, and you have a 28% conversion from your campaign 6. So you might want to see what good you have done for campaign 6, and you might want to replicate that for the other campaigns as well. The final indicator is your NPS scores. It stands between 9 and 10. You have 129 users giving you a 9 rating, and you have 76 people giving you a 10. So, though you have the scores distributed across 3 and 4, 7 and 8, a large number of people have given you the score between 9 and 10. So you have all these mission critical insights or KPIs analyzed and presented here in one particular dashboard. This helps you to get a holistic insight of your marketing efforts, gives you a detailed understanding of how each of these ad groups or your campaigns have performed, and on top of that helps you understand these important metrics like revenue, expenses, ROI, or a percentage for your business for that particular campaign that you have run. Now, there are a few things that I want to share with you, a few value additions that you can do with these dashboards. You can have them shared with your teams, with your bosses. All you got to do is just click on share the view, and you can just key in your colleague's email ID and hit share, and the dashboard gets shared instantly with your colleague. You can also embed the dashboard within your websites or can be any web page. And also, you can have this dashboard embedded in different applications in the context of a workflow. And they might be helpful in getting you some contextual insights. So, all you got to do is just click share and click on embed. Zoho Analytics gives you an iframe link, and all you got to do is just copy it and paste it within your application or your websites. On top of that, you can also schedule emails where Zoho Analytics smartly packages these insights and delivers it to your inbox. So you click on share, click on email, and you got to click on email as HTML, and you key in your colleague's email ID, and this is where you get to schedule your emails. So let's say you want to have the emails pushed into your colleagues or your boss's inbox every day. So you can do that, and you can say save an email, schedule these emails. You can also have these dashboards up and running on big screens in the form of slideshows. You can just choose a slideshows option here, create a slideshow, choose the reports that you want to have on the slideshow, and once you hit save, you have a URL, and you just need to copy and paste this URL into any browser, and you'll have the slideshows up and running. All right, folks, let's get back to our presentation. So I'm going to quickly give you a recap of the webinar. We defined or presented a simpler version of MLC. It starts with the planning phase where marketers get to plan their marketing efforts. Phase 2 was about execution, where you execute your marketing efforts. And phase 3 was about measuring and re strategizing your marketing efforts. So we said it's important to build a layer of marketing insights to help marketers define goals in the planning phase, help them achieve the tactical goals, and when you sum it up, you finally achieve your strategic goals for the business. We also saw how it's important to have a multi-dimension approach towards analyzing a marketing life cycle. Now, the beauty of an analytics powered marketing life cycle is its scalability. Now, let's reimagine this cycle in the form of concentric circles. I explained to you how this model of analytics powered MLC can be deployed for a campaign, and in this case, it was a campaign to promote the upcoming seasonal sale. This can also be deployed at a strategy level for your entire marketing strategy. This means you're going to define campaign specific goals. You're going to have multiple goals in your planning phase. You're going to have multiple milestones for multiple campaigns in your execution phase. And when you sum it up together, you have one strategic goal like your revenue, or it could be your number of leads or other KPIs to find out whether you've achieved these goals or not. Now, this is a very important slide. If you're looking to invest in a BI application that can power your marketing life cycle, these are the few things that you really look out for. Your platform should be data agnostic. This means your platform should be able to fetch data from multiple sources, and it should not be restricted only to the marketing sources, but also it should be able to get data from your sales applications or your finance applications or help desk applications and a lot more. So essentially your platform needs to be data hungry. Now, with all that data from multiple sources, it's important to find out whether the platform is capable of performing cross functional analysis. This means how your marketing activities have impacted your sales, how your sales has impacted your business's financial position, and vice versa. So there are different possibilities that can be analyzed, and it's important to find out whether the platform is equipped to perform cross functional analysis. We spoke of agility. We saw how the BI platform was agile for a marketer to adapt to the needs of the marketer in each of the three phases that we discussed today. Phase one was about getting granular and finding out who the audiences were. Phase two was about finding out if the tactical goals are well intact. And phase three was a holistic analysis to find out whether you have achieved your strategy goals or not. So, agility of a platform plays a crucial role if you want to power up your marketing life cycle. We spoke of scalability. You should be able to deploy your analytics platform at a campaign level, and also it should be able to power up your entire marketing strategy. It should be scalable. And also, it's important to understand if these platforms are scalable when, as and when your data keeps increasing across multiple platforms. And finally, it's important to have a platform that facilitates collaboration among teams. Today, it's a well connected world, it's a small world, so collaboration is definitely the key for any team to be successful. And it's important to find out whether these platforms give you the collaborative capabilities. All right, folks, we are now moving to the next section on the webinar. It's the Q&A. I'm going to throw the floor open for your questions. So I have with me a good friend of mine, Silas, and he is here to take up your questions. So I request you to file in your questions inside the questions box. Over to Silas.
Thank you, Ashwant. Thanks for the great session. So I'm keen to take it up the Q&A from here. All right, so let's go ahead and answer the questions. So please post your questions in the questions tab. All right, before question comes in, let me answer one of the frequently asked questions here. So typically, we get questions from the customers and partners about this, the overall life cycle in terms of tracking this marketing metrics. Basically, when you're trying to track some ROI. So ROI is obviously you need to have two different parameters. One is the spending, the other one is expense. I mean, the spending and expense. The other one is the sales or revenue that you got out of it. So to do that, to calculate the ROI, definitely you need a clear ecosystem that includes a CRM or some sales system in place. And that particular CRM or a sales system should have the ability to capture uh, the source of the leads. For example, let's say you receive a lead from a website or a Google ad campaign or email campaign or something. you should have a UTM tracker or some kind of execution mode which will allow you to track the particular campaign ID or something in the as a field inside a module like leads or potentials or something in your sales system or in a CRM system. Only in that way you will have a logical relationship between your sales application and the marketing applications, and with that together you can define the relationship and go ahead and calculate the ROI and so on. All right, so I got a question from Philip that how calculate cost per conversion in the dashboard, how to calculate the cost per conversion in the dashboard with CRM data. So there are two different cases involved in it. So one is typically if you take the marketing applications like Google Ads or Facebook Ads or whatever the application that we connect with Zoho Analytics or any digital ad platforms, you will have the total spend based on the campaigns. So that's the cost. And per conversion is, so let's take an example as Google Ads, so in which you can define what is your conversion. I mean, what action is called as a conversion, because in some use cases when somebody make a submission in the form, and that can be considered as a conversion, or in some cases it might be a sign up action, and so on. So you need to track that. Conversion is basically a action that performed in the ad environment, and also you have the spending for the appropriate campaign level or ad group level or even ad level in many cases. So you need to take those two parameters to understand what is your cost per conversion in the marketing aspect. But when it comes to cost per conversion, that collaborate across or maybe that span across the different departments like sales and marketing, then as I said in the frequently asked question, typically you should have a very strong ecosystem or the relationship between your marketing applications and sales applications, where you should have the ability to track from where exactly these lead is coming and so on. Based on that, you can understand the relationship and go ahead and calculate the cost per conversion. So that's how it works. It might be lead acquisition cost or deal acquisition cost or whatever. So you have a lot more metrics to play around as long as you blend the data from different data sources. All right, I hope I answered that question. And the other frequently asked question is, once again, it's more often like connecting the social media applications, and how can I, what are all the key metrics that I can track out of it. So the advantage of using the analytics is, of course, you can connect a wide range of social media applications. And when it comes to the social media applications, you need to categorize it into two different aspects. One is the ad platform, the other one is more often like the page performance, or it could be the post performance and so on. So whenever it comes to the ad, obviously you will have some associations like the campaigns, ad groups, and so on. Whereas when it comes to the profile or page performance, like Facebook pages or Instagram profile and so on, where it is more often the key metrics would be the engagements. Let's say how many posts that you made and what is the average engagement that you got out of it. Even you have the option to go ahead and define the weightage of that engagement. For example, if somebody liked the post, that might be have a low weightage, like low scroll score. And when you have a share action, which obviously has the more capabilities of spreading that news or ad across different persons and so on, so that may have more weightage. So you can define those metrics and calculate together. So in Zoho Analytics, as soon as you connect any different business applications, you will be able to find a whole lot of pre-built analytics on top of it, and that captures most of the required information. And of course, you can use the AI assistants, or you can go ahead and use the drag and drop options to build the reports. All right, so I think probably we can wait for a minute, and I'm happy to take it up. Any questions if you have? I think it is pretty much questions for today. So thank you so much for your time. Thanks for attending this great session. Please stay safe and take care. Over to you, Ashwint.
Thank you, Silas, for the Q&A session. Folks, you can write to us on support@zoanalytics.com. If you want to power your marketing lifecycle, we invite you to try out our product at zoho.com/analytics. And once you exit the webinar, you have a feedback form. So, like I said, we have kept it short and sweet for you to give your feedback. And that's it for the day, folks. Thank you very much for sticking along and have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.